It's Monday. You know what that means. Ending the beginning of your work week the only way. We know how with the best sports talk and all the business. It's the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you your sports, how you want to when you need it. And we always keep the tunes in the background as well. God's favorite host, the Flex Zone crew, back again, episode 436. Keeping it lit. We're getting ready for the NBA playoff. Seems like all 82 games flew by. But first, we begin with the play-in, beginning tomorrow night. We'll break it all down, give you our preview and predictions for both the Eastern and Western Conference, who meets in the finals, and can Denver go back-to-back. We take a look at the WNBA Draft. Ladies, the most historic WNBA Draft ever was loaded. We're going to talk about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And last but not least, the NFL Draft is on its way. And you already know the Flex Zone Podcast is going to keep breaking it down until it's here. And teams are reporting for off-season workouts. That's right, Lamar is in Baltimore. And the Ravens get back to work as they try to get a Lombardi trophy. And of course, Cavante's got that goofy. And let's just say he's not coming up short or small like Mini-Me. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you sports how you want to when you need it. Episode 436. The energy's in the building. Everybody's filing in. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. Let me know your thoughts on the new tunes as well. Let me know how you feeling tonight as we get ready for a new week here on the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 436, coming to you live right after this. As always, ending your Monday on a high note, the highest note, as we are the head of the sports podcast table. Throw up your ones. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, only place fellas give you sports how you want it.
When you
made it.
Episode 436, keeping it lit. NBA play-in, NBA playoffs, WNBA draft, of course, NFL draft buzz and goofies with Cravante. And unfortunately, we start things off with a sad passing in the world of sports, which we'll get to in a moment. But bad lead off, it's our friendly neighborhood social media producer, which you can follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, the Flex Zone 1. And make sure you follow us on that TikTok, the Flex Zone Podcast. And of course, on YouTube, if you're watching right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. And of course, you can email us at theflexzone1@gmail.com and donate the Flex Zone 1 on Cash App as well. But I'm not going to waste any more time. It's the one, the only social media producer himself, Big Rod.
No bread, no water, just meat. No bread, no water, just meat.
Finish him, Daddy.
A lot of meat from the weekend. A lot of meat.
Wow.
Man, I got some news, man, that kind of pissed me off. Went to my favorite casino, casino downtown, Horseshoe. You have to pay to park now. Very disgusting.
What, nigga, what?
That's crazy.
Hey,
yo!
You heard what I said, bro. You have to pay to park there.
Oh, hell no.
And it's not just that. It's $5 now.
$5?
$5. Very disgusting.
Man, I'm about to be like Martin. You should have been like Martin and not pay the $5.
I wish I could. I wish I could just ran through that thing, but now they got the little thing now. When it's like the Uso. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. That thing. But anyway, besides that, the weekend was cool. I mean, it's been one of those weekends where it's a chill weekend because everything revs up next weekend. So it was cool.
And Raj, let them know what to do if they're in the chat right now.
Hey, man, if y'all in the chat right now, go over to the YouTube channel, the Flex Zone Podcast. Hit the like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a dime. Just hit that like and subscribe. Check out our videos. We got a lot of draft profiles that we put up in the last couple of days. So just check us out, man. Check the videos out. I guarantee you'll find something that you love on there.
Appreciate that, Raj. And this man was part of the draft coverage with me, the Commandalorian, the captain of the Goofy Ship, the voice of reason, and the one, the only, Cravante, baby.
Those haters can't stand us. Left hand up. Commanders. We fight for RDC. Who are we? The Commanders.
Hey yo. Hey,
I'm about to go
Myron.
rob something. Y'all know me. I'm dangerous.
Forever funny. Forever funny. But another Monday night. Y'all starting off the show very goofy as y'all do so well. But I'm ready to get into it. We got an exciting show, couple guests. So let's get into it.
Last but not least, the tribal chief, the head of the Flex Zone table, the Flex Zone Messiah, the Savior of Misbehavior, Pride of the East Side, Savior of Misbehavior, Mr. Morgan State University, the Dean of Boss Hall University, Mr. 25-8, the super producer, the man with the shimmy more mean than Steph Curry. It's your favorite Capper brother, the one, the only, tribal chief himself. And you always got to do this when you see him.
Acknowledge me.
Drizzy Trey.
What's going on, everybody? Always excited to join the fellas as the WNBA draft tonight and the NFL draft next week. It's a lot happening right now, so let's get to it.
Well, let's get to it. Unfortunately, we have to start with some sad news as Orenthal James, better known as O.J. Simpson, did pass away at the age of 76 due to prostate cancer last week. Raj, I know you always kept us in the loop of what O.J. was doing since he came home, his entertaining escapades on social media, his live reactions, his just commentary on politics, sports, and just anything that we just found entertaining. We know he's had a lot of things he may have not did right, but he was a phenomenal football player, Hall of Famer, Heisman Trophy winner for the Buffalo Bills, a all-world rusher, 2,000 yards in his career. The life and legacy of OJ, Raj. How you feeling, man?
I'm going to just say this, man. I know this brother, isn't very well liked in a lot of circles because of the things that he may or may not have done in 1994. I get that. So it was a very mixed reaction when he passed away. But I'm not going to kick the brother when he's down, completely down. Yes, he was a phenomenal football player. He was a great actor. And, of course, when he was on Twitter, he was very entertaining. I'm not even going to lie to you. He was very entertaining, especially the comments. The comments were wrong as hell, but entertaining nonetheless. But I just want to say the brother's gone. I'm not going to put nothing bad on his name. I'm not sure what happened. I was a little kid in '94 when I seen what happened with his ex-wife and his ex-wife's lover. We don't know. The glove didn't fit, so it is what it is. But yeah, man, we lost a legend, OJ, and hopefully wherever he's at, he finds peace. So I will say that, and I'll leave it at that. But he will be missed. He will be missed on Twitter or X. Hey there, Twitter world or X world. He'll be missed.
Twitter world. Hey yo.
He'll be missed for real. Seriously.
Go ahead, Dre. My bad. Go ahead, Dre. I was on mute.
Oh, you're fine. It's sad about OJ, the fact that this man is a Hall of Fame running back and was a great football player, and yet we remember him more so for his antics off the field than we do on the field, and when he should be remembered, like Raj was saying, for what he did as a football player, as an actor. And I mean, this was a man who was You talk about my name is Black American Dream, but that brother was the Black American Dream. He was at one point he was loved by everybody, and then he just turned from a loved figure to a hated figure. So, and then you could even see that with the trial and how the country was, and I mean to this day still divided, but you could really see like the split in racism between blacks and whites. So hopefully we can, like Raj, move forward and look at OJ for what he was able to contribute on the football field, as opposed to just the unfortunate murders of what happened back in the 90s. But OJ Simpson, I mean, controversial figure, and like Rod said, he was. I will say the brother was entertaining. He, whether that was Twitter or anything that he just did in life. I mean, it is what it is. But prayers to his family while they're going through this ordeal, because a lot of the times we forget that these people do have families and they have children. So remember them as we're talking about everything that's going on with OJ, because they have to suffer through this as well.
Go ahead, Cravante.
Probably the most polarizing figure, not even just sports figure, but figure in life, not just sports, but in life. And I just want to say, Raj said something crazy. Like he said he was a kid when this happened. I was like, Raj is just lying.
I'm not lying.
I don't think Raj was nowhere near a kid.
I was.
But okay. We forget, like you guys have been saying, we forget how great of a football player, running back, and like with his contribution to sports, because of what he did after sports. And we all know the trial was that 94.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the few players that was a number one overall pick. One of the few players, number one overall pick, most valuable player, College Football Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame, and Heisman Trophy winner. There's not that many guys in football that have that on their resume, and he was the man at the time. He was that guy. Like he was Reggie Bush way before Reggie Bush and Will Allen and all them were a thing. And it sucks that his legacy has become what it's been since 94. Because when we talk about some of the greatest football players ever and some of the greatest running backs ever, OJ's name is not mentioned. It is not mentioned at all. And he was legit one of the greatest. Like, also 2,000 yards rushing in 14 games, straight up 14 games. Crazy. Still crazy. But after the trial, a lot of folks was on the map for that trial. We all are familiar with the defense team, and we're all familiar with the prosecution. It's really unfortunate that it's come to this. And Dre's right. We have to remember that despite how we may feel about, different people and OJ in particular, they do still have families that do love and care for them. And as Raj, Byron, Dre, we all know X is a wild place, yo. X is a wild place. Like every time, hey, Twitter world, I was like, oh, I got to see what he's talking about. And I got to read the comments. Dre, why am I here? What am I here for? Huh? The
comments.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the comments. Like, hey, Twitter world, and I start scrolling down because I'm like, somebody gonna say something crazy. And every time he says something controversial, and Raj, you pointed this out more than any of us. Anytime he says something controversial about a person or a player that was in some kind of trouble, man, you know them comments was flooding. Like, boy,
You know it's gonna be
what you did in the 90s.
Even
do it.
You know it was gonna be slashing.
You knew
literally. It's gonna be a slashing good time on the comment section.
Not a
literally.
slashing good time. But it's sad all the same. Cancer strikes again. That's something we're not talking about. Especially prostate cancer. Gentlemen, brothers, all men, please make sure you do your regular checkups and all that good stuff, because cancer is cancer. First of all, I didn't know that many so many cancer. Like as a kid, it was like just cancer, and as we got older, it like went to different parts of the body and cancer. But nonetheless, we all know the devastation. Oh boy. The infants. Oh, that's what he did to the defense, literally and figuratively. It's oh boy. Yeah, that's. Oh boy, nope.
That's our good brother Orenthal right there.
Orenthal,
the good brother right there, brother Orenthal. You know what, man? And you know they said he had the dream team. You know. That got him off, and shout out to Johnny Cochran and you know our favorite Kardashian, Robert Kardashian. You know,
our favorite.
Yeah, he's our favorite because we don't like this none of the girls, you know, or the boys,
the boy.
but we rock with Robert, we rock with him. So shout out to the dream team that got him off. It is what it is. Like I said, it is what it is. It's a sad day, man, for real. But also, like I said before, there's a lot of people that hate this brother. You know, they think that he did do it. I'm not here to judge or to say he did or didn't do what people are saying that he did, but he just sucks though, man. The whole situation literally sucks. But wow, I will be missing him on X. That's a fact, because he did have some wild takes and some comments, man. Like you said before. It was a killing.
It is what it is. And was he on?
Yes. Yes. Matter of fact, yes, he was on Mace's and Cameron's podcast, and they said I think they did a show after he passed away, and they said they was going to bring him to the Hall of Fame this year, the Hall of Fame ceremony. They was going to bring him back, so that was another thing that was going to be missed out on. So that also sucks, but yeah, man. OJ, he had a hell of a career, but the last 30 years of his life has been a roller coaster ride, to say for sure. But if you haven't seen his documentary on ESPN, or it was a TV show that FX did about the trial and everything, y'all should check those things out. Those are very interesting things.
Loved it.
Any other thoughts on OJ before we get to our illustrious guest?
One thing.
Go ahead, Kronta.
OJ, why? The biggest thing, like, yo, after all that, why you write a book, yo? why write a book? That's just the wildest thing ever. Cause like, bro, you black. I guess he forgot he black. But
did you see his defense team? He was probably paying them until the day he passed, man.
But he the last one. Everybody was gone.
Yeah. Well, Carl's still alive.
Man, that team, boy.
And isn't that what we coined the term dream team?
Yes, it is.
For law, because
the basketball team was.
Basketball. No, that was Jordan and them. And
they were both. You put them side by side. I couldn't tell the difference. They both did. They both did phenomenal things.
Well, we'll leave it there for OJ. Let us know in the comment section what you think about the life, legacy, career, and off the field troubles of Orenthal James Simpson, who has passed away at 76 due to prostate cancer. Like Cavante said, men, go to the doctors, go get checked, stay on top of your health because we got to be around, and our health is very, very vital in that. But let's get to some more happier news as we have a very illustrious guest joining us yet again. It's late, but he's bringing the energy, and he's always calling out the BS because he takes no BS. Boston's finest. You know, he's going to talk about his Celtics #1 seed. He's going to talk about his rebuilding Patriots. He's going to give us the hot takes. He's going to call out the BS, as I say. The one, the only, the Morgan Knight himself. He's got on his orange for the WNBA as well. And he's always here, back on the flex zone. He's family. You know him. You love him. Back again, Shane Jamal Hector, extraordinary.
What it do?
Shane, what is up, my brother? How you feeling? Welcome back.
Oh man, it's good to be back. It's just been you know, as you guys know, I've been very, very busy finally getting my studio together, just getting some last pieces, and then the show will be back on very, very soon. I'm very excited about it. Our brother Paul Williams, shout out to him, helping me with that. And then just coaching football. As you guys know, I coach for the Howard County Terps now. I coach the 9-year-olds. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm now the defensive coordinator for them. So I'm pretty excited. I can't wait for the flag season to start, and then the regular season will start. We'll be doing some things like pretty big. So, and then watching this WNBA draft is now like, this was a night.
Real quick, Shane, before we get into it, you a DC.
Shane, before you ask a question, I gotta ask a question to Shane. What the hell was Angel Reese wearing? Was she trying to be Mother Teresa out there?
You know, I did ask that same question too.
Hey, leave her outfit alone.
But I saw where she was going with it, though. I saw where she was going with it.
Be respectful.
Yeah,
I am being respectful.
Well, since we're on the WNBA, Shane, I will start with that because you got the orange on. I know you and Paul. Shout out to Paul. We gotta get him back on here. Shout out to Paul. We gotta get him back to talk WNBA. How do you feel about the draft? Dre thinks the Mystics should have taken Angel Reese. We saw Cardoso go to Chicago with Angel Reese. We saw, of course, Caitlin Clark go to Indiana, amongst other things. Alicia Edwards goes to DC instead of Angel Reese. What did you think about the draft, man? The most historic one I've seen.
I'm gonna just be honest with you. First off, shout out to every single one of the ladies that were in this draft. I think this is one of the most historic WNBA drafts that we probably ever seen in the history of the WNBA. Here's why. These women, I think they use the power of social media. They use their star power from the NCAA and bringing it to the WNBA. So I love what I saw tonight. But let's talk about the teams in particular. I feel like right now the team that definitely won this draft so far, from what I've been seeing, is definitely the Chicago Sky, because once you got Camila Cardoso, I already knew right then and there. I was thinking to myself, the LA Sparks, I was like, they got to make a splash. So I kept saying to myself, are they going to make a splash? Because they missed out.
Oh, they made a splash. She on the screen right now. They made a splash.
Yeah.
Miss Jackson, baby. Miss Jackson. Yes.
Yeah. So
Miss Jackson.
Oh man, you know, and I just was like, you guys got to do something. I thought I would have liked, to be honest with you, I thought I would have liked Angel to go to LA, but I knew LA needed a big. So since I knew LA needed a big, it was either going to be Cameron or it was going to be Camilla, and they chose Cameron, which makes sense because Cameron was right there at Stanford. She stays right there in Cali. You know, so all they had to do is just pick the girl that just was right down the block. They didn't have to go very far. But with Angel falling to 7, I wasn't surprised by that because of one reason. I know a lot of people who don't like him too much. He's one of our wild brothers, is Gilbert Arenas. But Gilbert Arenas, he was on a podcast with Paul George, and I remember he brought us something. He said, Angel on the defensive end is a freaking dog. We all know that she's an animal. But on the offensive end, she kind of lacks just a little bit, and it's mainly because she's very good at that hook shot. We already know that she could do that. We know she could drive to the post. We know that she can. She has a really good mid range, but but because she's not like that crazy scorer that's going to drop like 20 or 25 or 30 a night. I think that's the thing that I know Gilbert Arenas is kind of getting at. He felt like if she would have stayed one more year, she probably would have been the number one pick in the next draft. But I do like the move by Chicago because now you get two women that are both dogs. They both are winners, and they're probably going to change the face of the WNBA because Angel Reese and what she has done, I love the work that she's done. Caitlin, we knew she was going to go number one. I think we all knew that because of the fact that the girl was just playing lights out. But I also, I was watching Shannon Sharp just now on Club Shay Shay when he was talking with Cam Newton, and he was like, and he said this verbatim, and I quote, I consider Caitlin great, but I can't consider her the greatest because she don't have the ring. Right? And when I look at the two women that that Caitlin played that just went to Chicago, Caitlin lost to both of them and lost to them both by double digits. It wasn't even like it was close. Like obviously Angel, the first time they saw each other in the national championship, what was it, 102-85? And then this year, Camila Cardoso, they went to work. In South Carolina, put an end to that. And so now you had two back-to-back national championships where you lost by double digits. So, I know a lot of people want to hang on Caitlin Clark and how great she is. I mean, congratulations. I like the fact that she did go number one is different. But I felt like DC should have taken Angel. I did feel like Angel should have went to DC because Aaliyah Edwards, don't get me wrong, the girl's good too, but she ain't got that. She doesn't have that fire like Angel. Like, Aaliyah, we knew of her because she played with Paige. And that's why next year's draft, I'm going to be looking forward to that because we'll see Paige. We're going to probably see Flaugier. We're going to see a couple of young ladies come out in the next draft that I think is going to be pretty nice. But I think this draft was very historic. I love what I saw. And the marquee names that we saw, a lot of them went to the right places. So,
Go ahead, fellas. As I'm just over here loving the looks of the ladies tonight. By the way, they can dump on me anytime. They can dump on me anytime.
The ladies, they came to.
Yes, Ms. Brink. Ms. Brink, come on down. Ms. Brink, come on down.
They came to slay today.
I'll tell you that.
And I think this was the first time that they even sold tickets for this event. So the women are definitely
15 minutes.
So the women are coming, brothers. I agree with Shane. Though I thought Washington should have drafted Angel because I think from a marketing perspective, it was a good business move. But I agree. I think that the winners is definitely Chicago. Now they're going to need more help with their guard play, but they need a size bad. They said that they were one of the smaller teams, so to have Angel right in there, she can play the forward position, and you got Camilla right there as the center. I mean, how do you stop that? Their defensive presence alone, I think. Shot blocking, being able to rebound with those two girls.
Also coached by Teresa Witherspoon, Dre. She's a defensive mastermind, much like our brother Shane up here.
And something that something that is pointed out, Byron, in our fantasy group, our fantasy text, is that they were saying that this coach is not going to play with Angel. Because we all know Angel can be a handful, and not to say that she's not a good player, but with good players, that they come with a lot, and Angel does come with a lot. So she's going to need somebody like Teresa to hone her in, just like how she had with Kim. Kim was able to control her and get her focused, and you saw. This girl has won on every level. She's won when she was at St. Francis. She's won a chip at LSU, and I don't see why she can't win a chip in Chicago, especially when you have somebody like Camilla as your teammate. eventually they're going to win a chip. I know that. Chicago with those two ladies alone. Of course, they may need like maybe another piece in there, but that's a good start. You talk about a good rebuild, a good draft. I think Chicago is the team right now that's on their way.
Not to mention, did you hear what Camilla said at the press conference?
Nah.
She at the press conference after she got drafted, the first thing she said was, she's like, I hate to say it, but ain't nobody gonna get rebounds by her and I, so it is what it is. I'm like,
she's right.
She put the WNBA on notice.
Absolutely right.
Because even in that loss to Iowa, Angel had 17 and 20. And,
Angel gonna get a double, Dre. She gonna get a double.
She's double queen.
And Camilla in the championship game.
Mind you, Angel did that when she was hurt, because she got hurt that game and still put up a double.
Mm-hmm. And in the championship game, Camilla was giving them girls Iowa.
She was giving them work.
Yeah, them Iowa girls. She was giving them work too, because she had a double as well. So yeah, she's right. That's what I said. I don't know how you're gonna. It's gonna be hard to get off any shots, because Angel is a good shot blocker, and then Camilla with her side, she's definitely, you ain't getting that paint. You're just not getting that paint. You might as well, if you don't have a Caitlin Clark type of shooting night from 30. I mean, because there's just no point to getting that paint with those two big bodies right there.
Well, I love me some Diana Taurasi, but I'm going to just say it plainly. See, the thing about the WNBA, what I've come to realize is, because I've seen this movie before, I want to see what that first game looked like for Caitlin. I want to see how much rush she gets off in that first game, which is going to be next month. Because the thing is they're playing, they're playing in the WNBA. These some grown women that they are all waiting. Okay, they waiting. They waiting on Caitlin. Okay, if we're gonna be honest, they are waiting on.
You saying that some Brittany Griner's ready to give a little elbow check, Shane, like in the park?
I'm trying to tell you, because like that first game, they're gonna play the Dallas Wings.
There go your boy, right?
The Fever. So the Fever. So Indiana, they're gonna have that first game. I'm just like, okay, that's cute, But the game that I'm not looking forward towards, and this is the game that I think everybody should kind of tune into, is when they play Chicago in Chicago. That's the game I want.
Oh yeah, sold out. It's finna be sold out, brother.
It's probably sold out right now.
I think they're in the same division, right? They will be in the same division, right?
Yes, they are. Yeah. So that's why, for me, that's the game I think we all need to see, and I can't wait for that. Because, bruh, that rivalry is not gonna. If we thought it was gonna stop in college, nah, I ain't gonna stop there. That joint is gonna follow its way. I'm just like, bro. Like, at the end of the day, don't get me wrong. I think that Caitlin got something, because she got that long range jumper, and and because she can shoot from such a long range, nobody's gonna be like, we got to find a way to guard this girl. Because one of the things that I heard Caitlin say tonight that I thought was quite interesting was when she said, I'm glad to have Aaliyah Boston as a teammate, because at least now I know she got somebody to help her on the defensive end and get the rebounds so she can get the ball. I'm like, okay. Now I know why you wanted to be with her.
Come on, Shane. At Iowa, man, she played with a bunch of less than talented individuals.
Yeah. So I mean,
except for the lady with the nice pigtails.
I mean, we all know we all know it was Caitlin a bust. We already know that. I think that's been, but see that's where I felt like, don't get me wrong, I think that Caitlin is one of the greatest players that we will ever see. But I also have to look at this. And I'm not gonna knock the girl leadership, but I also got to ask the question. The question has to be asked to me. If you went to back-to-back national championships, back-to-back, and you lose both times, and the first thing that everybody says is, well, Caitlin didn't have a team. The question should be, is Caitlin making her teammates better?
Fair. That's a fair. I mean,
that's fair. I would say yes, she is, because I mean, to have a Final Four appearance and then this year to get to the championship game. I mean,
It was Steph Curry all over again, y'all. It was nobody else.
Yeah, I'll admit I can't say that she didn't. I think you say Steph Curry. I think about like LeBron. I mean, she you can get but so far, but you need a squad around you.
I think Iverson
in basketball you didn't.
Right.
But I think that
did you not watch that? Did you watch the UConn game? Because we both know that UConn game, that was the game she should have got clapped in that one. But
she should have.
We all know what happened. So,
but
I mean, she got.
I'll admit it's basketball, but I do think that, like you said, now that Angel could have went and stayed another year, yes. But by Angel coming out this year, it further gives you that story of this being maybe the greatest draft class we'll see in the WNBA. We'll see down the road what happens.
The most lucrative draft class you'll see in the WNBA. The most lucrative.
Look, hey, Raj, we still talking about the NBA 03 draft class. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
You still got the best player from that draft class still playing.
But Goat Jays. But no, but I think honestly with the Angel and Caitlin continuing that into the WNBA, and then that good point that you had, Shane, about Boston being right there to go ahead and with being able to match up with Camilla, and then you have Angel and Caitlin. This is going to be something. And then you said they're division rivals too. This is going to be a good thing for the sport moving forward.
I think one thing Caitlin does not get a lot of credit on, or maybe enough credit, is that she is pretty good with her vision as far as passing the ball. So
she almost had 1,000 assists before she left college, 950.
So I think the idea of her making her player her teammates better is absolutely valid. But I think she did that because there's no way you can sneeze at going to back-to-back championships. Now she just happened to run into two of the best teams in college basketball at the time. So it's no shame in losing to LSU at that time, and it's no shame in losing to the juggernauts of South Carolina, led by Dawn Staley. There's no shame in that. But she does get a bunch of assists because of how good she shoots. So there are going to be other players open, and I'm thinking at the next level, what I want to see is how her and Miss Mitchell, Kelsey Mitchell, at the next level with the Indiana Fever, and with Boston down low. Listen, man, guard play means a lot at all levels of basketball. So
yeah, they got two guards, Cavante. Good point. Mitchell I think she averaged like 15 points last year. So you got, and then Boston averaged like 15 and 10. She won Rookie of the Year. I mean, Boston is a better version of Cardoso, really.
Right. So Indiana, at this point, Indiana just don't have the number one pick again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's at the point that's what Indiana's shooting for, not to have that damn number one pick again, because you got two back-to-back. You got two great players. There's no reason Indiana should be in the top. But I would say at least not number one, because you got your guards and you got your big lady. So at this point, y'all should be moving upward. Now, Chicago, my heavens, they did that. That's the best. That's the best of like what you can do in a first round of a draft. Cardozo, Angel Reese, 1, box office. 2, you have back-to-back champions in back-to-back years from each of them respectively. And I was about to say Twin Towers, but we know Cardozo's like 6'7". She got a little bit on Angel Reese, so it's not quite Twin Towers, but you got two ladies that dominated the boards. And we all teams in basketball need a cleanup crew. And I don't see a better cleanup crew than Cardozo and Angel Reese. So Chicago for sure did that.
Not to mention, you got to add in the fact that Angel last year, even in his last season, had the most double doubles in NCAA. So it's kind of to me was at least one of the Chicagos got it right. At least the front office in the Chicago Sky, they got it right, because we know the Bears ain't getting it right. We know the Bulls ain't getting
Segue.
it right. We know the White Sox ain't getting it right. So, and neither the Cubs. So I'm confused at this point. At least one of the Chicago's got it right.
I just want to say this. Shout out to all the ladies tonight at the WNBA draft. This was very class personified, as Byron showed. Most of the ladies in their nice dresses and their nice outfits, being very classy. I love seeing that from our women today. Beautiful.
But there's one thing I want to say.
Go ahead, Shane.
There is a steal in this draft. There's a huge steal. The biggest steal to me right now, the biggest is in this draft, is Deasia Fair going to the Vegas Aces. I'm telling you right now, that's a steal. And I'm going to explain why. Becky Hammond, everybody knows, is a great coach. We know she coached under Coach Pop. We know she was more than capable of coaching the men because a lot of NBA teams were trying to call her, but she decided to take the job at the Aces, and you saw what she did. She got a chip, right? Now, let's fast forward to this draft. You grab one of the top 5 scorers in NCAA last season, one of the top 5 scorers, and on top of that, actually been in the top 5 in scoring for most of her career. And mind you, the girl's only 5'5". She only 5'5", and if anybody knows how to get the most out of a short person who can score, it's gonna be Becky Hammond because she was the queen of that. And if anybody's gonna do it, that's why I was like, when I saw her get drafted, I said that's gonna be the steal. And a lot of people don't even know it yet. And you thought the Vegas Aces did something last year. They just re-signed Candace. Candace is coming back. So they're going to add that veteran leadership. Heck, they might even have her come off the bench and be that sixth woman. Okay, you got Asia Wilson. You got all of this. I feel like Vegas, to me, they got Kelsey Plum. Vegas, to me, I feel like they could run it back. Now it's going to be a little bit tougher, though. It's definitely going to be tougher because the Storm, you saw, they just reloaded. They picked up some veteran leadership. Because I know they, I forgot the one girl. I think Nika's over there now, and then they just brought in
Agul McKay.
Yep, and they just brought in Skylar Diggins-Smith. She still got some time in her career, so they just brought her over. So the Storm, they're trying to make some noise. The Sky, you saw what they did. They're probably going to be one of the youngest teams in the league, probably dominating. And I think and another team that is going to be tough next year is the Liberty. The New York Liberty, they're gonna be a little tough next year. I mean, they got shooters for days, but because right now DC, I love DC. Don't get me wrong, but I think that at this point they're kind of aging a little bit, and they haven't really shown that they are gonna make anything different. They're starting to look like the Wizards. Yo, Cavante, I had to say it. I'm right because they starting to look like the Wizards. It's like.
Come on now, say it with me. Everybody beats the Wiz.
But they had that little streak, after they won the chip, but then it's been kind of going down. So it's like, okay, I get it. It's the age. I'm looking forward to watching WNBA this year.
Well, Shane, let's go to the NBA. Let's get to the NBA because your Boston Celtics are the number 1 seed. You called this. You said it ain't even about the regular season. They can win 80 games. You don't give a damn. It's about with Tatum and Brown, who's highly paid, and Tatum's about to get paid this summer, what they do in the postseason, Shane. Nobody has the plug and the heartbeat of Boston sports, much like you, my brother. How do you feel about the Celtics season? And where do you see them going? Because they could potentially have to play the Heat, who they lost to last year, or the Philadelphia 76ers potentially. I think they'll play one of those two teams. We'll get to the play in a second. But how do you feel about your Celtics?
I've seen this move. Unfortunately, Cavante will tell you, I've had this conversation with him many times. I've seen this movie before. And because I've seen this movie before, it's going to be the same thing that I've said before when we made it to the NBA Finals against the Warriors. It's literally our season to lose again. It's their season to lose. You went 64-18. You not only had the best record, but you didn't even lose 20 games. So I think the part of the problem that I kind of foresee with the with the Celtics is it's been the same problem that we've had before, but they've clicked a little bit better this year. But Tatum and Brown kind of need to be on at the same time. If they're both on at the same time, it's hard to beat Boston because we have so many bench players. Because Kristaps Porzingis, White, I hate Boston. Just we got dudes. Drew and shout out to CJ. I apologize to that man before. I'm gonna apologize to him publicly. I was a little mad when Boston got rid of Marcus Smart, and I remember CJ and I we got to an argument because I said, why did we pick up Drew Holiday instead of rolling with Marcus? But now that I'm seeing why we picked up Drew helps out on the defensive end, and he could score points too. And then they would decide, and Brad Stevens, huge shout out to him and what he put together with this team, because ever since he became the VP of our basketball operations, he built such a great basketball team. But now we have to put it together and just go get the ring. Like we at this point, we just have to get it done. There's really no excuse. And I feel like if we don't get it this year, that window will start to close. It will start to close because we're going to end up being like the Buffalo Bills basketball. Okay?
Speaking of a closed window, good one.
Ouch.
Let's talk about the play-in first because I want to go to the play-in first. Tomorrow we have the Los Angeles Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans, and I want to get everybody's input. Raj, I know Laker Nation, y'all be watching 7:30 on TNT, so y'all get the 18, and then Golden State and Sacramento at 10 p.m. So the Lakers and New Orleans Pelicans, the winner will be the 7 seed and play they'll be playing the Denver Nuggets, and then the winner of the Golden State Sacramento game will be will play the loser of the Lakers and New Orleans Pelicans for the 8 seed, who will play the OKC Thunder. And then Wednesday, the East on ESPN, Miami and Philly, 7 and 8, and Atlanta, Chicago at 9:39 versus 10. Again, winner of 7 and 8 becomes 7. Loser plays the winner of 9 and 10 for the 8 seed. So, Shane, I'm gonna start with you, man. Who do you have advancing, and how do you see this shaking out in the play-in?
I just saw something, earlier today, and I just really thought this was interesting. So there's a scenario where I think it's either the Lakers or one of those teams that's in that play-in, where if one loses, they're still going to hold their place no matter what, whether if they're 7th or 8th. They just won't see Denver, right? So my thing is, somebody said that team should I think it was the Lakers. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense because if you don't lose to the Nuggets now, you're going to lose to them later. What difference is it? So it really doesn't. So to me, it doesn't make a difference. Like when you lose, it's just that if you want to lose at the biggest stage, congratulations. You can dig your grave if you want to. That's just how I feel about that. But if I'm going to choose, I don't want to choose the Lakers and then Steph go off like he always does, and then. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that to myself. So I'll choose the Warriors in that one just because I got that feeling the Lakers are just going to find a way to lay an egg. I just have that way because they old. I mean, Snoop Dogg said it the other day, actually, which I thought was quite interesting. He was just like, look, he even called Jeannie out and said, Jeannie, we got to get rid of the dinosaurs. Talk about the old dudes on the team. Because like I hate to say it, the Lakers, and we've seen this movie. The Lakers can beat the teams that have the old dudes. They can beat them. But these young boys, they ain't got nothing for these young boys. They ain't got nothing for them. And the Pelicans, they young. They're quite young. And Zion, he don't look like he eating too many cheese. Well, he's still eating cheesesteaks. Let me stop. He's still eating his cheesesteaks. But at least I see the athleticism from him eating his cheesesteaks. So. And on the East side, the Sixers, if they don't beat Miami, then I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm tired of hearing about the Sixers. I think that at this point, the Sixers window has long closed. I think at this point, I'm just tired of talking about them because they're not worth talking about anymore. Miami, I never count them out, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Jimmy Butler, I don't care if they're the 8th seed, I don't care if they're the 1 seed. That dude, for some odd reason, finds a way to get it done in the playoffs. To me, he's kind of like Eli Manning. I hate Eli Manning with a passion, but you want to know why I hate Eli? Because when he gets to the playoffs, he makes a run, and then it's like, you've got to be kidding me.
Okay.
Cavante, Raj, how y'all see it playing out?
You want to go Gravante or you want me to go?
So the interesting thing is Shane talked about the Lakers being old, which we know they absolutely are. But I think when it gets to the playoffs, that's when you want vets. That's when you want old head because they do not play ball. I love OKC. I love what OKC has where they the plateau that they have reached. Because y'all remember back in the day when they had all them draft picks and they was like, oh, we're playing for the future. We're playing for the future. We're playing for the future. And this is the future. OKC's the number 1 seed in the West. Who would have thought? But I feel like when it come down to it, if it's a veteran team, I feel like they're going to lose because they're so young. They still haven't quite got it yet. And SGA is an all pro, straight up. Like that's a superstar right there. But I'm not sure they have enough experience to go deep into the playoffs and knock off a different. Oh no, they're probably the Nuggets. Oh no, they if they're the 1 seed, I think the Lakers will beat them. That's
I got the
craziest
standards for you,
thing.
Cavante. There you go. I got the standards for you. I got the standards for you, brother.
If okay, so Lakers and AC right now. Let's say for lack of for the like if it's how it is now, let's just say 7 and 8 is actually 7 and 8. I feel like the Lakers might beat the Thunder. Like that's just how I feel because they're so young, and I feel like LeBron, it is IQ. As long as AD stays healthy, if AD stays healthy, I feel like they will still beat. I think they will beat the Thunder. But as far as playing the Pelicans, listen, man, I done heard a lot of wild stuff. I done heard, hey man, go ahead, lose this game, go ahead, lose this game, and avoid the Nuggets, which I think is very, very goofy, man. I completely agree with Shane in the sense that, man, now we out here avoiding folks. Either if you scared, say you scared. You know what I'm saying? Now, but I think that people talking. I don't think that's the Lakers' MO. I don't think that's what they're gonna do. But laying down in this game and risking losing the next game, I don't think it's worth it. Like, play a game. If you lose, cool. If you win, cool. Like, go ahead and play the Nuggets in round 1. Y'all old anyway. We've been talking about it. If y'all season end early, so what?
Real quick, Carter, do you believe in the Minnesota? I know we talked about young teams. Do you believe in Minnesota? Karl Anthony Towns is back. I know you were a little skeptical on them. They've been pretty good all year because they got Phoenix. They got Phoenix in round 1.
Listen, man, I like with Cat back. I like Minnesota a lot more. Suns have been skeptical all year. I'm not a fan of them just putting folks together and creating.
They playing YMCA ball. They just playing pickup ball.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's still a lot of one-on-one ball. And you know, when you get deep into the playoffs, none of that works. You know what I'm saying? Like you may get through round 1 like that, but I don't think you can go deep into the playoffs like that. But Minnesota has a fighting chance. It's not a foregone conclusion that Phoenix are gonna just run over Minnesota. Minnesota has been a lot better in recent memory. Shout out to Edwards holding it down. And Cat's back. I like them moving forward. The Kings and the Warriors. The Kings are one of those sneaky teams, man. One game. Yeah. If it's one game, they could catch somebody sleeping. They could definitely catch somebody sleeping in one game. And the Warriors, what is Draymond going to do? Like, Draymond is the wild card with the Warriors. What is he going to do? Is he going to do something to help the Warriors, or is he going to do something to hurt the Warriors? And because we already know what Steph Curry is going to give us, we have a good idea of like how the offense is going to run and all that. And Draymond Green is a huge part in that. Is he going to keep his head on straight? That is the question with the Warriors. So yeah, that's what I think about the West. In the East, I like Miami. Like Shane said, I don't care where Miami is. Miami gonna play ball, and they don't care who one game? Miami gonna play ball. I've never been a believer of the Sixers. Ever since they picked up Ben Simmons, I've never been a believer of them.
Hold up, wait, Ben Simmons. I didn't forgot that Ben Simmons is back over there. Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's easy to forget. And the Bulls Hawks. I ain't gonna hold you. That's a WC.
Yeah, whoever getting that, they're getting swept by whoever they play.
Yeah.
Yeah, the East, like Shane said, is basically the Celtics and everybody else.
It's basically it's literally the Celtics season to lose.
Yep, especially in the East. Right. I don't think really anybody just get past Miami. Make sure you get past Miami, and I think everyone else is pretty much smooth sailing until the finals.
Because people, I want you to understand something, and here's what's really sad about the East: the second seed in the East has 50 wins. But if you look over on the West, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that have 50 wins. 5. Okay? So but then even if you look at the 6 and 7 seed, 49 wins. I mean, we all know the West has been stronger than the East for a long time. Just recently, the East finally picked it up a little bit. But this year, the West has shown everybody, no, they back to business. They back to business, and that's just what it is. And that's why I said it'll be the Celtics season to lose, because the only team that really could, I think, matchup wise, could give Celtics the problems is Miami, because New York is just one of those teams that's just kind of pesky. They kind of remind me of the Wisconsin Badgers of college football. That's who they are. They're just that pesky team that just there, and you know they're gonna probably score some points. So it's just like, all right. We all know Milwaukee right now. I feel like they haven't really figured it out with Dame and stuff like that. But I think once they do figure it out with Dame, that team's gonna be a little bit different. But when you brought up Cat and Anthony Edwards, bro, and I really like Minnesota in the West, and I see them in the Western Conference Finals, and I don't know why, but I really see them there.
Hot take.
I really see them there because the Nuggets, we know they're gonna get. I feel like the Nuggets will be there. The Thunder, I think they're probably gonna get. With you, Karante, I think they're probably gonna get knocked out round 1. That's just me because
it's the Nuggets, yo. I mean, round 1, like it's the Lakers. It depends. It depends who that 8 seed is.
Yeah, it depends on who that 8 seed is.
Because if Sacramento gets that 8 seed, I like OKC.
Right.
If Sacramento gets the 8 seed, I like OKC.
Right. But if it's the Lakers, I'm definitely gonna roll with the Lakers on that one, because that experience is gonna overwhelm them. But I just get that feeling that there's a collision course between the T-Wolves and the Nuggets. They're on a collision course, and I think that those two teams are gonna be nasty, as always. But it's just that Anthony Edwards, that boy on a mission. That boy, that I like a dude. And Kavante, you know I love my trash talkers. I like a dude who got that dog in him. He just got that dog in him. You can't beat that kind of dog. Like that's a pit bull with the little chain around his neck with the spikes coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let that boy loose. You let that boy shoot.
With plus that dog with a 40-inch vertical.
Right.
Go ahead, Raj.
All right.
Yeah, Raj, you got this, man.
This is how I feel. Everybody knows I'm a Lakers fan. I think we need to beat the Pelicans. I think they need to beat them, because I do not see them winning out of Sacramento or Golden State. To me, the matchups don't favor the Lakers if they do lose to the Pelicans. So they need to beat them to get in. Now, granted, if they do win, they got to play the Denver Nuggets. I get it. And we might get swept again like we did last year. But that's their only way into the playoffs, because I don't see them beating either the Golden State Warriors or the Sacramento Kings. And with that said, I do think that the Lakers do take care of the Pelicans just like they did Sunday. They're going to take care of them again tomorrow. Tomorrow. But, yeah, I see the Lakers winning that out of Golden State and Sacramento. I'm gonna roll with Golden State. I think Golden State is going to take it as well. I think Draymond Green does have his head on correctly, and I do think that Stephen Curry and them boys is going to take care of Sacramento. It's going to be a dogfight though, because De'Aaron Fox is no slouch, and the other boys is no slouch either. But I think Malik Monk is hurt, if I'm not mistaken.
Bonus like a mini Joker. Joker.
Yeah. So I'm rolling with Golden State, Miami and Philly. I think both of those teams get in. I don't think it matters like who wins. It don't matter who wins, Philly or Miami. One of them is going to take 7. One of them is going to take 8. I have no faith in Atlanta. No faith in Chicago. I don't even know why they're in this situation. But it's going to be fun to see Atlanta and Chicago play each other, just to see them get kicked out before the playoffs begin. So there you go.
I hope
that's your playing tournament.
Get kicked out. Like I don't even know why. Like whoever came in with this playing, I mean,
it's cool though. Don't get me wrong, it is cool, but just Chicago and Chicago and Atlanta have been awful this year. They just been pathetic.
Bro, they shouldn't even be in the conversation, but unfortunately we're here.
Missed a real quick preview of the schedule. Looks like we'll get the Knicks early on Saturday. Orlando, shout out to them making the playoffs without making the play-in. They made it straight in.
Oh, big ups to the Magic. I say, God damn, the Magic up in there and they right in the mix. Like they in the playoffs, like not in the play-in.
That boy from Duke.
Yep, that boy from Duke. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Dallas, that boy from Duke, he different.
I think that Dallas and the Clippers series is going to be the best series around one. Just me.
I think Dallas is going to beat the Clippers.
Yeah,
it was up 3-1. They was up 3-1 a couple years ago.
I mean, Kawhi Leonard is not healthy yet again in this playoff time. That brother's never healthy. I do not understand it.
Bro, we all know, but this is why this is why I'm glad the NBA has kind of got rid of that. Is finding ways to try to eliminate the low management stuff, especially with them telling the players that they got to play a certain amount of games in order to even be considered for certain awards, so that way they can get that extra cash that they want so bad. I'm glad they did that because, like, you know who actually played all of his games this year, although he didn't perform the greatest. But look at Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren played all 82 games this year.
Right.
He played all 82. And that's how it should be. But unfortunately, you got guys like Kawhi, he'd be like, nah, I don't feel like playing tonight. He'll go sit home. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me, you know? I mean, Kyrie, well, he's different. We all know Kyrie a little different, but Kyrie at least played his games this year. Anthony Davis, Mark, you just brought it up. 76 games. He played 76 this year.
That's an accomplishment. That is an
accomplishment because we all know AD. That dude, his legs is like toothpicks.
He get past 55, and it's like what?
Yeah, he got past 55 games. Oh snap! But I think that that's been part of the problem is this low management. But like I said, I don't think the Clippers gonna beat them either. I'm with you, Rod. They ain't gonna beat them.
Well, we'll keep our eye out and see how these playoffs work out, and if the Timberwolves do make the West Conference Final. Shane, before we get you out of this, Shane, we got to go to the NFL. First of all, how do you feel about this hip drop tackle? Because you are a defensive coordinator teaching the youth. How you feel about this rule? And I guess you can then talk about your Patriots at pick number 3. I think that's where the draft starts.
So the only reason, if we're all going to be honest, especially anybody who's played defense before, the only reason why this hip drop started even coming about was because the quarterback started getting hurt. Because a lot of the quarterbacks nowadays, they are a lot more mobile in years past. Years past, you would have that pocket passes, your Brady's of the world, your Aaron Rodgers of the world, your Peyton Mannings. If you saw the quarterback, you'd be like, oh, okay, if you're a D lineman, you know very well he's probably going to just take the sack, and then he's probably going to throw like a 40-yard bomb on the next play. That's usually how it works. Now, quarterbacks are more mobile. Like, I don't even like Justin Herbert, but even Justin Herbert knows it can move a little bit. So, with quarterbacks being more mobile, what's happening is they now ban this hip drop tackle because I don't know which quarterback it was that got hurt last year, but he got hurt because of a hip drop tackle. And I said, I get it. I get it from the NFL perspective. The offense is selling a lot of tickets. They're selling a lot of tickets, and because the offense is selling a lot of tickets, they figure, well, let's give the offense more, because guess who's gonna benefit from it? Believe it or not, the running backs. The running backs are down to definitely benefit from it, because see, now what's gonna have to happen is you can't really tackle the defender from behind coming from the hip, so you can't really do that, and you can't really jump over the top of him because there might be a chance you might get a horse collar penalty. So now it's like, all right, so I have to try to tackle him straight up. But then the problem with that is, depending on how big the player is, I could get hurt. So I think this year we're about to see a lot more injuries on the defensive side of the ball. And then what's going to happen is, once the defensive players start getting hurt, you're going to see a lot more records being broken, because unfortunately they can't tackle the way they want to, because now they got to figure out other ways to try to get him on the ground. Now, of course, I've seen the comments on Facebook. I've seen the comments on social media. I've seen guys who played, on the offense side of the ball, and they complain now and be like, yeah, I'm glad they got rid of that hip drop because these guys can't really tackle. No, what it is you could not stop. You weren't big enough to break his tackle, and that's the real reason why y'all happy about it. Y'all can get more yards now and show off more highlights. That's what it is, because nobody wants to see defense.
I think with what Mark just said, I was thinking this too. Y'all banning this tackle. What you telling these refs? What classes are the refs taking to actually call this and legit call it? Because this is not going to change in an off season, in one off season. Like, it's going to be a lot of tackles that's going to be questionable, and it's going to go eat one way or another. And it's like, is that even reviewable? It's probably not going to be reviewable. And so that's another layer to this. Like, I don't think this is going to be enforced that much, y'all. Not in year one, because it's going to be a lot of mistakes. It's going to be a lot of red-faced head coaches, because you're putting the refs in a wild predicament.
And you know what? Just for you saying it, I think they will enforce it. They're going to enforce the hell out of this rule, and it's going to be a cluster Franklin of epic proportions. But it is what it is. Go ahead, Shane.
But you know what? I hate to say it, the teams that's going to really suffer from this is, my teams that are my favorite teams that actually play some darn defense. The Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, you get, because the Ravens. Yeah, I mean. Y'all are known for lighting dudes up. Y'all are known for it, okay? Between y'all and Pittsburgh, y'all are known for lighting dudes up. Same thing with San Fran. They known for lighting dudes up. But now, unfortunately, we have to deal with this hip drop stuff. And like I said, man, like I just said at this point, and I'm going to call out the NFL on this, and I don't care who I piss off. I'm just going to keep it 100. Why don't we just have the offense wear skirts? I think we should start wearing flags now, and then just let the offense do what they do. Because at the end of the day, it's like, come on, like, what do you want the defensive player to do? And I know a lot of people didn't like what Tom Brady had to say now that he's out the league, and how he quote unquote benefited from it. But Tom Brady was not wrong. The league now has gotten so soft that a defensive player can't even really touch an offensive player now without with him questioning if he's going to get a flag or not. Guys are going to second guess themselves before they even try to make a play. And that's how injuries happen. And that's how guys get knocked out the NFL very quickly, because unfortunately now I'm second guessing. If I hit this guy this way and I'm trying to lay him out, I can't do that anymore. That's why Sean Taylor, he was the last of his breed. The last of his breed. I love Cam Chancellor to death, but he's the last of his breed. Because you know why? Because they can't light dudes up like that anymore. Now it's going to be this pity pat. It's all pity pat. And you could thank Roger Goodell for it, because he's been pity pat for a long time, because he's all worried about the lawsuits, from the former families, players and stuff like that. And I get it, because y'all lied about the CTE. I get it. But at the end of the day, we now know what we're dealing with. And what it is what's going to happen now is you're going to have to find defenders that are, I hate to say it, big. You're going to have to find some 250-pound linebackers that can body tackle, that have to body tackle, or and find some DBs that are at least 200 pounds. You can't even find a 180-pound, 190-pound corner anymore. You can't do that now. Now you have to find some dudes that are big and fast. You have to. Because how are you going to – because I hate to say it, the Ravens, and I swear to God, if John Harbaugh does it again, I'm going to be very pissed. And John Harbaugh, because I've been saying that dude got to go because what he did in the AFC Championship was the reason why the Ravens didn't get to the Super Bowl. But that's a conversation for another day. But the Ravens should be benefiting big time from it because Derrick Henry, as big as he is, it's going to be hard to tackle that guy. And with no hip drop, if he doesn't get minimum, and I say minimum 1,500 yards, there's something wrong. And Joe Mixon, who's with the Texans, if he don't get at least 1,300, that means there's a problem. There is no reason why these running backs who claim they weren't valued last year, they should be getting some value this year because the hip drop's gone. You ain't got to worry about getting hurt anymore. You just got to focus on running the defender over because he's going to second guess himself.
How do you see your Patriots at 3, Shane? What are they going to do?
Probably they're going to trade back because there's a huge rumor that I heard that Jaden Daniels, I guess his visit, there's been too many conflicting reports of his visit with the Commanders. One report said that it went well, but then there was another report saying that not only it didn't go well, but like, I guess he was talking about playing for New England.
Yep.
So I kept hearing that a lot. And let's say for the sake of argument that was true, he still could get selected by the Commanders anyway, right? Because he's going to have to play no matter what, where he wants. Now, if he said that to Dan Quinn, now let's be honest, because we all know Dan Quinn very well. If he actually said that to Dan Quinn, then I hate to say it, you don't want to draft a guy that doesn't want to be in the building. Because because then he's not going to perform well the way you want him to perform. So you'd rather draft a player who actually wants to be there. You see what I'm saying? If Jaden Daniels is there, I could see the Patriots drafting him. But what I would implore my Patriots to do is if Jaden Daniels is there, then draft him. But if he's not there, then I would either draft probably Marvin Harrison Jr. or draft another good player at that position or trade back and get more picks. That's what I would do. And the reason why I would do that, because you don't want to draft a quarterback just to appease the public. Because I know how that Boston beast is. Believe me, I know. I grew up there. I lived there half my life. So I know how that Boston media is. But don't draft a quarterback just because you want to appease the public. What you need to do is draft what you need for now, because you still got a whole nother draft class coming in next year. And I hate to say it, there's going to be a good quarterback draft class coming in next season. It's not like it's not going to be there. They got the Shedeur Sanders of the world. They got there's a few dudes that's going to come out next year. So I wouldn't really too worry about this particular draft. Because Drake May, I told people I am not sold on that guy. I don't know why anybody's sold on him. I don't like what I see. I don't like quarterbacks that come from North Carolina at all because they all trash to me, and they've all been trash. I mean, look at Mitch Trubisky. He's a prime example. So, I mean, that's just what it is. So I think that at 3, we could, if Jaden is there, we'll draft him. But if he's not there, you either draft Marvin Harrison Jr. or you trade back, go get some picks.
Wait a minute. Hey, Mark, is Adam Peters the actual GM now? So the interesting thing is that's where the beef or disconnect is. It wouldn't be Dan Quinn, it's Adam Peters. This is the Adam Peters show. And he's taking and I guess he's taking some advice from from Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn, but ultimately it's going to be Adam Peters' decision. So for those of y'all that don't know, there was a little hiccup back in the where he was at Arizona State. When Jaden Daniels was at Arizona State, Brandon Ayuk is a little bit older than him. So Brandon Ayuk was with the 49ers. So when Adam Peters was the assistant GM with the 49ers, they met. I guess Brandon Ayuk arranged them to meet because Adam Peters a lot of what was going on with San Francisco was Adam Peters. Doing, and he checked out Jaden Daniels. He told Jaden Daniels that I think you're a 4th, 5th round pick. I mean, 4th, 5th round, selections, 4th, 5th round pick.
Yeah, I was disrespectful.
And I don't think, that's any young man. That's hard for any young man to take. And for him to transfer to LSU and have the type of year he did, and then come all the way up to he about to be the 2nd overall pick and 2nd quarterback taken is crazy now. So what is the feelings now that Jaden Daniels is up right now? He the man right now. How does Adam Peters feel about him now versus how he did before? So that is the, I guess, quote unquote beef with Adam Peters and Jaden Daniels. But again, if they could let bygones be bygones, because obviously you're not a 4th round grade now. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about you going number 2 overall and changing this organization around. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. And Shane, I heard the same rumors, so I don't know what to believe. So we're gonna be in suspense for another 2 weeks, and we'll see what happens. And I hope the Commanders make the best decision the Commanders can make.
Well, let me ask something about somebody else that Shane talked about was Drake May. Now, all y'all here have been rocking with me for a very long time in this sports world, and y'all know there's one person's opinion I value, and that's Merrill Hodge, who was formerly of ESPN. He's not sold on Drake May either. Why is it that you're not sold?
Time out. Wait a minute. Time out. You choose Merrill Hodge's opinion over Mel Kiper's?
No, I mean I like him, but I think as an analyst, I always liked Merrill Hodge. Like,
okay. Right.
Who's the because and we've had many discussions, me, Shane, Cravante, and AJ. He was an analyst for NFL Network, and we used to always get into these debates. It was like Merrill Hodge's opinion versus he was with, he was with Oakland. He was like
Mike Mayock.
Mike Mayock. Yeah,
Mike Mayock,
always.
Yeah.
You remember that? You
remember Antonio Brown called him a cracker? That was hilarious.
But yeah, so those were the 2 guys we really listened to. But Merrill Hodge, I know he's not with ESPN right now, but he is not sold on Drake May. Shane, he's not sold on Drake May. Me and Cravante, we haven't had a chance to really rap.
All right, so you check the profile. I don't know if the profile dropped yet, but I'm not sold on your boy either.
Oh, yeah, the profile is out.
So why is it that y'all aren't sold on Drake May? Because before, there was a lot of hype saying that it was basically Caleb Williams or Drake May, and Drake May has fallen back so much, and now
I got the perfect answer for you. So I got the perfect answer for you, Dre. It's because his name is Drake.
But hey, Raj, if it's over that new diss track, man, Drake's name is Drake still got it. I don't know if you heard. I know you heard that new diss.
Of course I did. I'm just playing. But go ahead.
Let's put the analyst perspective on it now. That is because Raj hit the nail on the head. But let me ask my analyst perspective to Roger's point. When I watch Drake May, it's something that Cravante and we talk about all the time, and I even see it in my in coaching. What does my eye test tell me? The eye test tells me I see a guy that's going to throw a lot of interceptions, and I see a guy that he actually would have to rely. He relies too much on the power of his arm more than his decision making. And that, to me, is a problem. In this league, you have to be able to make good decisions. Sometimes you might have to make a business decision. You want to know why C.J. Stroud had a great year his first year? Because it wasn't because we know he had the arm. We know he had the accuracy. It wasn't the athleticism. It was his decision making. His decision making was so sound for a rookie that you just have to say, all right, you know what? Year 2, the expectation is what the expectation is at this point, because now we know his decision-making is there, right? With Drake May, I don't even see that in his decision making in college. And if I can't even see that in college, why am I going to see that in the pros? I don't expect to see it. And you play for North Carolina. Who in the ACC did you play? Because I know it wasn't Florida State. Because if I recall, Florida State beat y'all, and you definitely got dusted by Louisville. And do we even? Did they? And if I recall correctly, did they even beat Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons? Since when have they been nice? They haven't been nice since Aaron Curry.
First of all, we're talking about is like, are we talking football? Are we talking basketball? Like these are basketball programs. So my thing is, you can find good football players anywhere, pretty much. But your quarterbacks should not come from basketball programs. It's just the level of competition is not there. I think Drake May is wildly inconsistent. He's inconsistent on the gimme plays. He's inconsistent on the layup plays. But he has potential. I'm just saying, if you need a quarterback right now, he's not the guy. If he gets drafted by a team that does not need him right away, I think he'll be okay. He needs to be on the Jordan Love plan. Like, he needs to be on that plan. He needs 2 to 3 years and not play in any meaningful NFL snaps. He needs to learn, hone in on his craft and his talents and have them grow. But the thing about the NFL, nobody's patient. The Packers had the luxury of being patient because they picked Jordan Love and they still had Aaron Rodgers. Teams don't generally have that right now. If you need a quarterback, you need him to play yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Drake May did pick having a top 3 pick and picking Drake May, he's got to play. That's what you're telling me. He's going to play in year 1 at some point. And I don't think he's ready. He's not ready for week 1. I don't think he's ready for year 1, if I'm being completely honest with you, because he has to get with a guy that's going to really teach him how to work on his eyes, work on his mechanics, work on his footwork, because it's all over the place. And I think he was allowed to be all over the place because of where he was at. It's the ACC. The level of competition is not there. And also, he really ain't had nobody on his team either. And he was still putting up numbers. That's what I'm saying. Like, the potential is there. He's not ready to play year 1. He should be nobody's starting quarterback year 1. That's what I think Drake May. That's what I legit think about Drake May.
Well, let me follow up and ask you then, because you said that he should go to an org where he's going to have to sit. What org do you think might draft him? Because the only one I can think of off the top, when you made that comparison about Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, is the Dallas Cowboys, because we're not sure if Dak is going to get re-signed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only one that stands off the top of my head. But I just wonder what y'all
Nah, I can't see him going to Dallas, because the problem with Dallas is Dallas's problems come from too many other factors that it ain't even got really nothing to do with the football. It's really that front office, because Dak, we already know that Dak has hit a ceiling. We already know that if you put Drake May in there, I can promise you that he's not going to be successful. He won't. It won't end well for him. And on top of that, dude, the NFC East, as many times as they've had bad years, that division is still pretty competitive, because unfortunately, that means he's got to see Philly twice. Okay, he got to see Philly twice. You just added Dan Quinn to the mix, and now you're going to have one of the best defensive coordinators now coaching the Durham Commanders, and you know what he does to rookie quarterbacks. Come on, man, don't do that to that boy. So you don't want to put him there. And the only team, and this is what's sad, because I really don't want him to be in the NFC East. The only team I can see drafting him, believe it or not, is it's actually 3 teams: the Giants, the Raiders, or the Saints. Because Saints, unfortunately, they got Derek Carr. Derek Carr is not bad, but he's not the greatest quarterback on earth. But at least he could learn something from Derek. The Raiders need a quarterback in general, but they won games without one. They won games without a quarterback. If they have one, then it'll be better. The problem is with the Raiders is that quarterback carousel that they got going on. So that's the only problem with the Raiders. And the only reason why I see the Giants, because we all know Daniel Jones, he about to be out the door. He out the door. I don't like Seattle. I don't like Seattle at all because Pete Carroll's not coach anymore. He can't go to Jacksonville because they also got a quarterback carousel. Because now, with Trevor Lawrence being who he is, I'll be honest. If Mac Jones flashes in training camp, you might see a different quarterback, but I don't think that'll be the case.
Hell no.
So go. Okay,
he is not replacing no Trevor Lawrence.
Wait. So let's go back. So would it be crazy if the Giants have two quarterbacks, both from Duke and North Carolina, like two basketball powerhouses? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? But Shane,
Dable wants to win. That's why.
Because Dable wants to win, right?
I agree with the New Orleans Saints. I agree with New Orleans Saints because they have a guy that is he's in mid. He's mid. He's in the middle. He's not bad. He's not great. He's somewhere in the middle. I think that's a great spot. Another spot. Now I'm not sure if they're going to do it, but because of the timing and the quarterback possibly being able to is in line to be paid soon, Miami. I think Miami is an organization that would look at that because
a destination, yeah.
Tua's there, but we all know they're not going to pay him. That whatever the value, it ain't gonna be what you think it is. So I feel like Tua's days with the Miami Dolphins are numbered.
Yeah, because right now I look at because I know somebody brought this up to me. I actually, when I was coaching the other day, was talking about the Vikings, and I said the Vikings more than likely they're going to go with JJ McCarthy if they're going to go with the quarterback anyway, because JJ. Yeah. If I'm going to be honest, I think he kind of fits their system because of the way Kevin O'Connell is. Kevin O'Connell, he likes those guys that can move but can throw the rock, and JJ kind of would fit that bill. The only reason why I don't like JJ in the first round, though, is because JJ, if we're going to be honest, we only heard about JJ this year. Mm-hmm. If we're going to be honest. You didn't
feel like we heard about JJ last year a little bit? I know they had. No. For the past 2 years, they've had, they ran the football down your throats, but I felt like I started hearing about JJ last year, and it was just a continuation to kind of like finish.
Okay, So here's the thing about JJ McCarthy. I want everybody to realize: did I see all of his strengths? No, I did not. Because what I always say to people is, again, what does the eye test tell you? JJ showed me that he's an accurate quarterback. I'm not worried about the accuracy. What I'm worried about is the resume. The resume does not show me that he can be an NFL quarterback because, again, last season I didn't really see that. All I saw was a lot of short passes. I didn't really see no deep balls down the field. I didn't see the accuracy going down the field. I didn't see the decision making like that last year. This year, on the other hand, I did see it. This year, I did see it, and obviously they won the national championship, and that's the reason why. It's not, but it wasn't like he had a Joe Burrow-like season. You remember when Joe Burrow went undefeated with LSU? If he would have had a Joe Burrow-like season, then I'd be having a different conversation with you, but he did not. It was more of control. Don't turn over the ball, play good defense, run it down your throat. And that's exactly what Michigan did all the way up to the national championship. That's just what they did. And so, Mark Savoy, I saw your comment earlier. I meant to get to it when you talked about Joe Milton. As much as I like Joe been kind of hurt.
I'm about to say, you know who loves Joe?
I like Joe. No. I like Joe.
Me too.
But Joe been hurt. And if Joe was not hurt, and especially the injury he had last season, again, wouldn't have this conversation with you because we saw his arm. His arm is freaking.
I'm saying because your man's wants Joe instead of JJ.
What, AJ?
Yeah.
He wants Joe. I mean, but here's the thing, though. He can get him. It's not like he can't. But I'm not wasting a first round pick on him. If that's what you're asking me, if you're asking me to waste a first round pick on him, I'm not doing that. You don't waste a first round pick on a quarterback that can definitely be drafted in the second or the third round. He's not a first round guy.
We know they're going with JJ anyway. They're not going to get two quarterbacks in Vikings.
Well, that's just it. The thing is, the Vikings, they're kind of holding things to the vest because and I know why they're doing it, because they got two picks in the first round. They have the 11th and the 24th pick, so they're kind of keeping it close to the vest right now. So the Vikings can kind of make some moves, and they got some options. It's not like they don't. They got options. They have some options to kind of work with. I think for them, you just have to look at the draft board, let the draft come to you. Okay, Scott Pioli always used to say that when he was the GM for New England. You don't go to the draft, let the draft come to you. They sitting there at the 11th pick, and they know that most of the top guys are going to be gone. So then you got to find out who's either the best available or who's going to be the best that's going to help your team win next year. They're not, and you already know you're in a rebuild anyway, because the defense is an aging defense. They have an aging defense, and they have an offense that literally is a quarterback away from playoffs. Because unfortunately, Kirk, he won like one playoff game. Dirty Kirk still in the church's money.
My God, his agent is amazing.
Yo, oh, you already know who it is, baby. You know who it is, Drew.
Yeah, Drew Rosenhaus.
You know, if it's Drew Rosenhaus, you know you getting your money.
Yo, man, and
just call up Drew. Just call Drew. Matter of fact, you know who used to get paid? And I used to be like, yo, you old as heck. T.O. Remember when T.O. had a part of his career? He was old as can be, but he got paid. Chad, when he was Ocho Cinco, his final year with New England, you know what we paid him? We paid him $15 million for 1 year, and he didn't do nothing for us. He got $15 million for 1 year. And I want you to think about that.
And that was high back then.
Right. That was high back then. $15 million for 1 year. And guess who got him that money? Drew Rosenhaus, hands down, I believe, is the best sports agent I have ever seen. That man knows how to get people their bread. He knows how to get people broke off. That's just what he do.
Shane, how can the people keep up with you and what you're working on with No BS?
Oh, you already know. Insane_. This is Shane _29. Go ahead and follow me, Shiz_29 on Instagram. No BS, no holds barred sports talk show. You follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow me on all those platforms. And very soon, I'm gonna give myself a couple of more weeks once I get this equipment in. Your boy will be back at it again, and they're gonna get that No BS.
Shane, we appreciate you, brother. Always love having you back on the Flex Zone podcast, as you are part of the family. Send love to your family, and we'll do this again real soon, and we'll see what your Patriots and Celtics do and how it plays out, brother.
Yeah.
One more time for Shane, everybody. No BS. Thanks, team. He'll be back real soon. Big shout out to Shane. Once again, being back here, as always, on the Flex Zone podcast, breaking that knowledge and teaching the youth how to tackle, since there's no more hip drop with that whole fiasco. Cavante, you ready to get goofy, brother? I think there's a certain statue that we're still looking for. It's time for Cavante's Goofies of the Week.
Oh, gosh. Something wrong here.
Well, now that's goofy. Man. It's funny. Well, you know what? Let's start off. I'm gonna start off right. Good people. Welcome to Goofy of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time. So let me tell the good people what I thought was goofy this week. Y'all know we typically deal with two levels of goofiness. We deal with the low level of goofiness where it's funny, we laugh at it, we kiki, we ha, in the hopes that it does not become a higher level of goofiness, which turns into an extreme goofy, an extremely high goofy, where we have to congregate, we have to talk, we have to figure out how do we get here. We gotta who, what, where, when, why, and all that good stuff, and figure out what we can do to not make this situation, person, thing, whatever, as goofy as it already is. The good brother Dre sent me this couple days ago, and I laughed about it, and I completely forgot about it. Byron, I don't know if you have any I don't know if you have any visuals.
Yeah, I got you.
Visuals for the good people, but my heavens, the Hall of Famer Allen Iverson. The Hall of Famer Allen Iverson had a statue. Had a statue that was unveiled.
Whoa. Copyright.
Yeah, what happened?
You good,
So the
Carlos?
music
I didn't know the
was
music was playing. My bad.
Oh yeah, so the brother Allen Iverson got a statue of his unveiled by the Philadelphia 76ers, where he spent majority of his career, where he spent the great years of his great Hall of Fame career. And this is the statue that they gave him. Yo. And I see they have a trend of having smaller, what is that, statues. But goddamn, that is like a kid level statue. Like that looks crazy. Like it's spinning right now, but he tapped the head of it, and I'm like, yo, that kid looks like, that statue looks like a child. Yeah, you know what it looks like? You know what it looks like? It looks like the brother Bow Wow from Like Mike, the brother Calvin Cambridge. That's what it looks like. Nah. I'm not feeling that good, Dre. Roger's giving me that earlier. Mark, not trying to hear that, bro. That's been a problem. We should have been addressed this. I had no idea this was the case until AI statue was unveiled. That's absurd. That's absolutely absurd. Allen Iverson was one of the best 76ers ever, and he deserves a statue that's larger than life. I feel like he should have the biggest, and as far as with sports statues, he should have the biggest in Philly by an absolute lot. It was
Yo, Raj, please. I need Raj to stop the trolling. That is trolling to another level.
To a T, and I love it. And I love
That's the cancer in him. That's that 50 Cent.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Very, very goofy, but I do love it. That's a child right there, though. That is a child. At least make it the size of Allen Iverson. Goddamn, Allen Iverson wasn't that damn big his goddamn self. At least make the statue his size. That is a child. That is Bow Wow right there. Talking about a fictional goddamn character. So it's goddamn Rocky. Fiction, not real. Phony. He's a phony. A big fat phony. AI did that thing. AI did that, and we saw him do that thing and become a Hall of Famer before our eyes. Being 6 foot, 5'11", 5'10", however the hell tall he was, lead the league in scoring, take the Sixers to a championship round, a finals appearance. We all know what happened. Ain't no shame losing to the Lakers. Not at that time. And look. It's half his size. And mind you, Allen Iverson is a small guy. It's half his size, y'all. Half. I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't care for it. I feel like it's wildly disrespectful. And kill with the small statues, man. Kill that. I don't like it. But also, that's at the practice facility, correct? So I guess he need one in front of what's the name of the I would say Lincoln Financial, the Eagles. Wells Fargo. He needs one right there. God damn, building ain't that damn big.
Yo, talk about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
My gosh, playing with AI like that. He already small, yo. How you gonna make a statue have his size? It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. He was already. First of all, why they shrink him and him playing Jordan like that? Like, They look like Space Jam for real. But I I get it. Practice facility, that's what they do. AI deserves better. I feel like there's a chance to switch it up for arguably the greatest athlete, at least basketball player in Sixers sports history. Definitely Muggsy Spud Webb Iverson. There he is. Oh, and he's showing his AI. Oh, snap. That was the size of his statue. The size difference between Allen Iverson and Calvin Cambridge is the size difference between him and his statue. It's wild. It's wild out here, yo. Biggie Littles. Hey, Mark. Biggie Littles from NBA Street. That's crazy. That's crazy. The comment of the night. Biggie Littles. Because that's what he is. That's what he is. But y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great. And I think the people that made the statues on the wrong end of it. Got to do better. Got to do better.
Let's get Goofy back up here. Let's looking at this.
Of course. Something wrong here.
Oh man, look at AI.
Well, not that goofy.
Oh man, episode in the book. We get a Biggie Littles comment from Mark.
The Biggie Littles comment is it. The Biggie Littles from NBA Street is it, yo.
Jersey Dre next week, episode 437. What can the people expect, my good brother?
Hey man, more focus around the NFL draft because it's right around the corner. So we're going to see what Baltimore University does, and we're going to see what Cavante's Commanders do.
Real quick, Dre, I didn't get your thoughts on the play-in, your Lakers, and playoffs in general.
I
don't
don't
Denver in the first round.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. A lot of people say that the Lakers should tank this game and then take another chance at the other play-in game. No, even if this is professional basketball, man up. If you gotta go through Denver, eventually you gotta go through Denver. So if you can take them out early, do it. We've seen people work miracles in basketball before. Go out and win that play-in game, so that way you can face Denver and do what you need to do to handle business. This is Laker Nation. We don't back down from nothing. So Lakers, take care of your business. And as far as the Warriors and the Kings, I think the Warriors, I got them too advancing on as well.
Do you have any faith in your 76ers with Joel Embiid back?
No. I mean, they look good. The Knicks look good, but I think in the East, it's Boston's to lose. I was sold on Milwaukee, but I'm not sure why Milwaukee can't get it together at all. I mean, it's sad that the loss of Drew Holiday took that team out the way that it did, who just signed an extension with the Celtics. So,
got that bag.
That's not the reason. The reason is because that dude with the whack hairline and that sheen on top of his goddamn head is the reason why that team is playing like they're playing. 17-19 is his record. He's a disgrace. A disgrace.
I've been saying it for
quite some time now. The man's
I've been saying it for quite some time now. How is he still? Listen, brother. I'm all about black men keeping their jobs, feeding their family, making that money. But goddamn, how does he keep a job?
He is a world champion.
From 2008.
What year?
It don't matter the year. He's a world champion. You be respectful to the Hall of Famer.
He's John Harbaugh is what he is.
Executive producer, co-founder Andre
Yo, you gotta be respectful, bro.
No, I will not.
He's wild for that one. He
They're the same person.
He's wild for that one.
One's white, one's black. One has hair, one doesn't.
He's wild. He's wild for that comment. But Doc Rivers is wildly overrated, yo. 08, yo. 08. We was in school, bro.
I know. Down at the ESPN zone watching it.
ESPN Zone? Oh, are you serious? ESPN Zone? My God, Dre, get out of here. It's time to we go to bed. We go to bed, yo. He wow. He said ESPN Zone.
Executive producer, co-patriarch Andre Melton. Senior producer, captain of the goofy ship, Cravante Bebe. Them draft profiles.
ESPN Zone? ESPN Zone?
I miss ESPN Zone.
Me too. And it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
They have some good reps down there.
We need to bring that back. That was a great place, man. Cravante, we pushing out these draft profiles, man. We got the corners, we got the quarterbacks, we got wide receivers coming, and
whatever, Mark.
We got the Fat Boys coming up that we gotta go over. Fat Boys and I think edge rushers. I think we'll be done. But we pumping them out, yo.
Yes, sir. Big Rod, social media producer, the meat man. Right on the channel this week. I just realized we got an AEW pay-per-view on Sunday. Oh joy.
Sunday. Whose house?
AEW Swerves. Yeah, I might be making a return to Jimmy's. We shall see. I might need it actually that night. Who knows?
You go ahead and ride. You go ahead.
I might have to. I'm gonna have to hit it. Yeah.
Well, make sure you guys show some love to Shane once again. No BS. Biz_29. Big ups to the brother Shane. Make sure you guys show some love to him. Patriots and Celtics. We'll see if they can get it done. Shane Dre did predict the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals against the Nuggets. So we'll see how that plays out as we get ready to put the kids to bed. Next week, episode 437, we're looking ahead to the draft.
I got to see about – I'm not sold yet on the Thunder or the Timberwolves. I feel like they're the new Kings right now. Both are a little too young. I could actually see the Mavericks. I see the Mavericks before I would see any of those two teams.
Yes. Same thing.
Official playoffs start on Saturday. We'll be talking about it next week, giving more predictions and in-depth analysis and recapping the draft. Episode 437. Moving along, and this week, maybe AEW Dynamite. I don't know. We will have plenty of draft profiles though, and we'll have match previews for Dynasty, and we'll be live for Dynasty on Sunday. Maybe a historic night. Black AEW World Champion. We'll see what happens. Flex Zone Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, flexzone1@gmail.com, Flex Zone Podcast on Twitter, and of course you can donate. Hit that Cash App. The Flex Zone 1, only place fellas giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
We're putting the kids to bed. For Raj, Dre, Cravante, God's favorite host, signing off. Hit the bell. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit that subscribe button. We're getting out of here. We'll be live throughout the week. More draft profiles, more match previews, and more of just everything on the show that you love. Flex On Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Big up to Shane yet again. And we'll see you guys throughout the week and back next week for episode 437. We gone, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
ESPN Zone.
Get you some of them Biggie Littles, baby.